We'll give you a first look at what the stork delivered. Stay in touch with News 6. Keeping you in touch with today's news with Maureen Tellerico, John Schottenbauer Sports, and meteorologist Dave Anderson. You're watching News 6 at 10.
Fishing for low grocery prices is often...
Hey, look here.
Well,
look here.
catch as catch can.
Not exactly a keeper. Toss her back.
Sure, you might find a deal or two, but not on everything.
I wouldn't call that supper.
Then there's Cub Foods. Cub Foods, your low-priced leader.
That's good. Doesn't get any better than this.
There's only one place to really save this Labor Day weekend: Home Furniture. Not only will you find the best selection of furniture at the best prices, you'll also have till 2001 to pay for it. Start with a beautiful Vermont sleigh bed. Add a 3-piece upholstered set for $9.99. Or choose the supple feel of fine leather. And take advantage of no payments or interest till 2001. The Labor Day weekend sale you really can't miss at Home Furniture.
Car's all packed.
Wow.
Guess this is it.
College. We're proud of you.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
We want you to have this.
What? Dad.
You're gonna need it.
In here, Alex.
Mom, the microwave?
Well, sweetie, you have to eat.
Take the TV.
Oh, come on.
Let's go.
Cool. Okay, Mom.
Call us.
See you later.
Bye. Why'd you guys give them all our stuff?
Look! Ta-da! Looky,
It's time to bring a little fun to life.
Oh, bet your brother wishes he was here to help.
Best Buy.
Oh, I'm in a better mood already.
Tobacco has been a sacred element in our culture for as long as anyone can remember. Today, tobacco is frequently held less than sacred. We have the highest rates of smoking in the nation. Our kids are twice as likely to smoke than other kids. Let's restore our respect for our traditions and our future. Sponsored by the Great Lakes Intertribal Council and the Centers for Disease Control.
At Burger King, we're always trying to make have it your way better.
Sushi is big in the Midwest.
Sushi sandwich?
I don't know if a sushi sandwich...
There are no bad ideas.
All right, let's leverage the
I have an
core.
idea. How about something that actually tastes good?
Oh, I like it.
Here's an idea. Indulge your need for a new taste with our Italian chicken sandwich. It's a tasty filet topped with mozzarella cheese and zesty marinara sauce.
No bad ideas.
Burger King, when you have it your way, it just tastes better.
And now the weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Dave's here to tell us we might have some rain tomorrow. He's a 60% chance.
About 60% chance, yes. That's for Minnesota. It's only about 40% chance for northern Wisconsin. So let's factor the two together and come up with 50% across the board. So yeah, there could be a few rain showers, even a couple thunderstorms out there tomorrow. I'm not saying cancel any plans you may have. Just take the precautions necessary in case it turns out to be a rainy day. Now, let's take a look at the national map and talk about where some folks are having rainy days. And if you didn't tune in earlier in the evening, well, I'll tell the other folks again that Tropical Storm Dennis has started to push itself onshore in the Carolinas region. So the folks there who thought they had escaped the problems earlier in the week have now got them doubling back upon them. Right now, things aren't too nasty, actually. Hurricane Dennis has been downgraded to a tropical storm, and as it is making landfall, well, the friction element of this storm touching the ground is actually weakening it, so things should mellow out pretty nicely for those folks very soon, hopefully. Things in our region, well, not as nasty as a tropical storm, that's for sure, but we've got an area of low pressure tracking on through the area. That's what brought showers to a lot of folks earlier in the day, and it's also what's going to bring a chance for showers to folks tonight and on through much of the day for tomorrow. But after that, for Monday, for Labor Day itself, we do have some Canadian high pressure that should filter on in. That should give us, well, I think a Monday that'll have partly cloudy skies, but it will be a Monday that features temperatures just a bit on the cool side of things. Now let's take a look at the almanac here and see if things were cool around our region today. And for most of us, actually, temperatures were a bit on the balmy side. Duluth today, high temperature of 79 degrees. Really shot that record of the normal of 68 all to pieces. Record high for the date is 89 degrees, though, and that one was set back in 1948. Current conditions, well, we've got winds right now in the region from the south at 8 miles per hour. Barometric pressure is at 29.85, and it's holding steady. That is a bit on the low side, but of course that makes sense with a low on our doorstep. Relative humidity right now is on the high side of things. That currently is standing at 90%. Around our region, temperatures for some folks are fairly balmy for this time of night. We have 72 right now in Ely. We have 69 in Hibbing, not 39. Looks like the little computer elves are going just a bit crazy out there tonight. International Falls is still a bit on the warm side with 68. Bacon is following suit with 68 currently. Hayward on the warm side of things with 75 degrees. Here in Duluth at the airport, 70 is what we've got right now. Things are just a little bit cooler than that down in Superior, though. Current temperature there is 66 degrees. But add on a little steam here as you head over towards Ironwood and Hurley. Current temperature is 77 degrees. Things are just a bit cooler than that over in Ashland and in Bayfield. Now we're going to shift gears here and take a look at the current radar map, the local radar map, and the situation we've got going on tonight, well, frankly, is a center of low pressure that's roughly right here behind this blue radar bar, and there is a cool front extending down from that low. That's what's been tracking through the region and stirring up showers every now and then. It's a slow-moving front, so odds are it's going to continue to stir up a few showers on through the evening hours. And once the cold front itself does pass sometime tomorrow morning, well, we still got the wraparound on the back side of the area of low pressure that'll be tracking on through. And that's where we come up with that 40 to 60% chance of showers that we will face just about all day on Sunday. But here with our national picture, of course, first we'll take a look at the area of low pressure that's passing on through the region. Here comes the high pressure that should be with us for Monday. As that tracks on down this way, it'll glaze our region, give us some partly cloudy skies, and a high temperature around 70. So for Monday and for Tuesday, that's exactly what that high will do. After Tuesday, though, it sure looks like another area of low pressure will come on through, and then we'll be right back in the rainy mix of things. Now let's take a look at the forecast here for our region for tonight, and it does call for that chance of rain out there. Roughly 50%, with overnight lows from 57 to 61 degrees. For tomorrow, pardon me there, daytime highs will be just a bit on the cool side from 63 to 72 degrees, with still a chance for a few showers. Our 6-day forecast here, Maureen, is calling for high pressure, though, to take over for Monday and Tuesday, and that'll be a nice break from the rain.
Yeah, it will, and I think it's a welcomed break, I guess. Much needed for a lot of people. Thanks, Dave. Well, when you get a prescription, you normally assume it's the right pills in the right bottle. But do you really know if you've received the correct medicine? Dr. David Marks has some tips to keep you safe.
Over 9 million prescriptions have been written for Pfizer's new arthritis drug, Celebrex. But in some cases, patients have been given an antidepressant called Celexa instead. Celebrex and Celexa, they sound alike, and they've been confusing doctors and pharmacists. But they're not the only drugs that are confusing. Try Nasacort, Nazarel, and Nasonex, or Vancinase and Vanseril. Merck had a similar problem with its anti-ulcer drug. When it first came out, it was called Losec, but people confused it with Lasix, which is a diuretic. So the company eventually had to change the name to Prilosec. Pfizer's not changing Celebrex's name, but it has started a major ad campaign to make sure doctors and pharmacists understand the difference between similar-sounding drugs. And some insurance companies are also getting involved.
The carrier that processes Connecticut's prescriptions now has a blurb that comes up on the computer when we fill a prescription for Celebrex to warn us that it is a sound-alike drug.
But you shouldn't rely on computers or marketing campaigns. The best defense against medication errors is to take responsibility for your own health.
They can also just make sure, too, when they get the prescription from the pharmacist to say, this is the drug I'm using for my arthritis. Is that correct?
For NBC News, I'm Dr. David Marks.
And Jody Grayson joins us now with sports. Lots of football, I guess.
That is right. That's what people are talking about. That's what people are doing. That's where they're going. UMD, their first game of the season tonight. It was a wet one, but we'll have highlights for you, plus today's scores when we come back.
Hey, California, don't you touch that dial, because you could miss out on the chance of a lifetime, because tonight's jackpot is $15 million. Yeah, hooray, cha-ching! Have your 6 to match our 6 in any order, and you could win or share in that jackpot tonight. Yes, you could. So let's get things shaking and mixing on up. Here we go. Good luck to you, California. First out, we have number 15, followed by number 30.
They gather in parking lots across this great nation. The tailgaters, the grill maestros, determined to follow tradition at all costs. Some strive for perfection, while others are born with talent.
Great Brock, Dad!
Now McDonald's is cooking up delicious Johnsonville bratwurst sandwiches. Try one in an extra value meal for just $2.99. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Bring your squeeze box to the International Button Box Festival September 11th and 12th at Iron World Discovery Center. New 6 invite you to join the fun with 2 days of live music and entertainment. Dance to a variety of button box styles including Irish, Scandinavian, Hispanic, and more. Enjoy outstanding button box workshops and a swap meet. Plus dine on tasty ethnic cuisine. The International Button Box Festival September 11th and 12th at Iron World Discovery Center in Chisholm, Minnesota. Brought to you by these fine sponsors and New 6.
And now, sports with Jody Grayson.
The UMD Bulldogs began the 1999 season at home, playing host to Minnesota State Mankato tonight. It was a wet one on the UMD campus, but fans didn't seem to mind. The game was delayed for a brief time, but the band kept the fans excited. The Bulldogs took to the field under the direction of new head coach Bob Nielsen. Tonight was the first time since Dwight D. Eisenhower occupied the White House that the Bulldogs had someone other than Jim Molosky presiding as their full-time head coach. Mankato began the action with this run by T.J. Schaffnagel, but there was a flag on the play, and it was called back. Maverick quarterback Zach Wick fumbled the ball on the next snap, and the ball was recovered by the Bulldogs. Casey Anderson with a dynamite run down the field for the Bulldogs to set up the field goal attempt. However, the kick was just short of the uprights. Mankato was the first to get on the board when Witt connected with Joe McIntosh for the touchdown. The Mavericks take the lead 7-0. But the Bulldogs put the pressure on when Mark Dromenhauser found Jeff Wengatz in the end zone for the score. The game now tied at 7. In the second, Witt ran the ball himself to gain some yards for Mankato and set up the score when he later threw for another touchdown, breaking the tie and taking the lead 14-7. Both teams went on to score a few more times, but Mankato ended up coming out on top. Final score of the game, UMD 15, Mankato 37. The Bulldogs will now face St. Cloud State University on September 11th in St. Cloud. The Minnesota Gophers opened the season with a 33-7 win over Ohio this afternoon. Billy Cockerham threw a career-long 89-yard touchdown pass and scored on a 35-yard bootleg. Cockerman drove the Gophers to 4 touchdowns against a small Bobcats team that had to replace most of its front 7. Gopher strong safety Tyrone Carter had 8 tackles, snapping his streak of 13 games in double digits. The Wisconsin Badgers kicked off their season this afternoon as well. They met Murray State in front of a sold-out crowd at Camp Randall Stadium in Madison. Ron Dane rushed for 135 yards and 3 touchdowns to help lift number 9 Wisconsin over Division I AA Murray State 49-10. Dane is in 14th place on the NCAA's career rushing list with 4,698 yards so far in his career. The high school football season is now in full swing. Action could be seen and heard throughout the region last night. One of the biggest North Atlanta rivalries was up the shore in Silver Bay, where the Mariners played host to the Cook County Vikings. It was the non-conference season opener for both teams, but both teams playing like it was a championship game. But the two-time defending Minnesota Class A champions dominated the Mariners. Viking quarterback Eric Anderson snuck one in from the 1-yard line. The Vikings now lead 14-0 going into the second half. Cook County's offense controlled the ball for more than 15 of the 24 minutes in the second half. Todd Curveas with a 12-yard touchdown run, his second of the game, bringing the score to 21-0. And to finish the game, quarterback Eric Anderson found Woody Seam, who ran in the touchdown, for a final score of 28-0. Both of the coaches say it was an excellent matchup.
It was a hard-fought game. I think for us, it was probably the most physical game we played in, I don't know, 8-10 years with Silver Bay. They came out and just they stopped us in positions and did a wonderful job. It was hard, and it was just difficult to get an inch. And
Cook County's not rated #1 for nothing. They haven't won two state championships for nothing. They're just a fine football team. I thought we played a good game, but you can't make the mistakes that we made and beat those guys.
And the Minnesota Vikings have finished their preseason 2-2 after a loss in an exhibition game matching last season's conference runners-up. The Vikes took an early 7-0 lead in the first when Randall Cunningham threw a 27-yard touchdown strike to star receiver Randy Moss. In the second, the Vikes up 10-3 when Jets quarterback Vinny Testaverde completes a 31-yard pass to Keyshawn Johnson to set up the field goal. The score now 10-6 Minnesota. While the play was pretty even with the first stringers on the field, the Jets had a big edge in the second half when the subs got playing time. Backup quarterback Rick Muir found Keith Bieres in the third. The Jets take the lead 15-10 after a failed two-point conversion. New York continued to build their lead with this 40-yard punt return by Leon Johnson, which set up Muir's 28-yard touchdown pass to Dwight Stone. The Jets went on to beat the Vikings' final score 38-17. And now, Maureen, regular season play begins September 12th against the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. So
it's going to be fun to watch. Thanks, Jody. We'll be right back.
You're looking at some of the principal players in one of the Twin Ports' most important industries. They provide jobs for over 8,000 people. Their business generates $400 million a year for our local economy. And they're not even from around here. Thanks for making them feel welcome.
It's time to get on the grass at the 8th Annual Grass Drags at the Evelyn, Virginia Airport on September 5th. See stock and modified snowmobile competition at its finest. That's right, snowmobiles. Races start at 10:30. Admission is just $10 for adults, $5 for kids 12 through 16. 11 and under are free. Special attractions and fun going on all day. Forget about the snow. See some sleds on the grass at the 8th Annual Grass Drags September 5th at the Evelyn, Virginia Airport beginning at 10:30. Brought to you by these fine sponsors.
In a century yet to come,
Red alert! All hands to battle stations.
the USS Voyager is on a mission.
We're being targeted. Your appeal to my humanity is pointless.
That will take you to the final edge.
We've definitely left our galaxy.
Of the final frontier.
Get us out of here. Maximum warp.
One ship.
Brace for impact.
One crew.
We've got a breach!
One question. Are you a Voyager? Star Trek Voyager.
Sunday at 11:30 on News 6.
Stay in touch with the latest news, sports, and weather with the News 6 Information Guide by calling 727-2131. Brought to you by News 6 and U.S. West X, your directory expert.
Frequently referred to as a living saint, she dedicated every day of her adult life caring for others. Her name was Mother Teresa. Here's tonight's Time and Again 2000 Minute.
From the NBC News Archives and MSNBC, this is a Time and Again 2000 Millennium Minute with Jane Pauley.
In a world too often driven by power, competition, and material success, Mother Teresa's life was a reminder that there are alternatives: charity, compassion, and love. She died on September 5th, 1997. She was 87.
She was born of Albanian parents in what became Yugoslavia. As a young Roman Catholic nun in Calcutta, she took the name Teresa and pledged herself to live among those she called the poorest of the poor.
The work for the poorest of the poor is so beautiful and attractive because it fills the heart with great joy and with great love.
And her own death, she predicted, wouldn't end what she had set in motion. It's not my work, said Mother Teresa, but the work of God.
Time and Again 2000, brought to you by Schneiderman's Furniture.
And you can see another Time and Again 2000 Minute on News 6 at 10 on Tuesday and on MSNBC with Jane Pauley. Well, San Diego zoo workers are thrilled with the arrival of a newborn giant panda, but they're afraid all the media attention toward the little one is taking away from the other blessed events. So as not to show favoritism, the zoo took some endearing shots of its other new arrivals. At the hippo exhibit, the protective mother hippopotamus allowed her little one to swim on its own. Also overshadowed by the recent panda birth, one Bornean bearded pig and two meerkats. All the pandemonium may have steered crowds away from the other exhibits, but the zoo says all the new babies are an important part of sustainable wildlife projects. Cute, aren't they? You just want to go and adopt a meerkat.
I'd go for a couple of hippos there, put them in the backyard.
I'd go for a regular cat, I suppose, but the meerkat.
Yeah, those are interesting. But the way things have been so wet around here this summer, a couple of hippos wouldn't be out of the question to wallow in the mud in a lot of folks'
I'd like to see a
yards here.
hippopotamus in your backyard.
See me on a sunny day there, I guess. Now, let's take a look at the forecast here for tonight. We're looking for a good chance of showers here with overnight lows from 57 to 61 degrees. Chance for showers stands roughly at 60%. For tomorrow, well, from a